Hello and welcome. I am Leanne, and on this channel we talk about one of my favorite things, tarot. It has been a while since my last video post. I was dealing with some things, life and such, and right about the time I was ready to focus on making videos again, Western North Carolina was hit with Cyclone Helene. And let me just say, I am familiar with hurricanes. I've lived in the Florida Keys and other parts of Florida, so I know how to prepare for them, but I never, I never in a million years expected something like this to hit the mountains in North Carolina. I was not prepared, not on any level, and I don't think anyone was. So now I am just doing my best to focus on future goals, creative projects, and just moving forward. And so with that, today I wanted to take a look at the 2024 edition of the Efflorescent Tarot illustrated by Peony Coin Archer. I also wanted to compare the new edition to my first colored edition. As far as I can tell, the artwork hasn't changed at all. But also, just before I go any further, full disclosure, the last time I checked, the Efflorescent Tarot was sold out. However, you can submit your email for a restock notification, which is a good sign that they're going to have it back. I will leave links for this below. Also, at the time of this video post, the Little Monsters Tarot was still available for purchase. And if you're not sure what that is, let me just show you really quick. This is the Little Monsters Tarot, also by Peony Archer, and it is unique in that it is oval. And it is also all in black and white. I have not even had a chance to look at this deck yet. But again, if you're interested in this deck, check out her website. With that, let's take a look at the Efflorescent Tarot. So the first obvious difference is the packaging. The first deck came in this simple white two-piece box. It has an image of the Ten of Cups on the front, and that is pretty much it. It came with minimal information about the deck and no book. Also, when this edition was published, the creator was going by the name Katie Rose Pipkin, which is probably why I had such a challenging time tracking down any information regarding the possibility of a new edition ever coming out. And I'm really glad that it did. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are as well, because I did a blog about this deck, a review, years ago, 2015, and I have had so many people reaching out to me about this deck and how they could get a copy. And that was probably almost for 10 years. So again, I'm glad to see that they released a new edition. The 2024 edition comes in this really pretty sturdy box. It has colored imagery and all over it, back, front, sides, everything. And this is so cute. So cute. Anyway, and then it has like a short blurb about the deck on the back, and it does come with a little guidebook. Let me get this off. So let's take a look at the book. The little guidebook was written by Olivia Mercury Pepper. It's pretty simple. There are just 5 images, which are in black and white, the Fool and the 4 Aces. And it starts off with how to connect with your deck, or how to get to know your deck, and then it moves on to about the suits. And I am going to read this part because the first edition didn't come with a book, and so I did not know some of this. Within the Efflorescent Tarot, the 4 tarot suits are additionally associated with the different phases in the growth cycle of plants and the life cycle of a garden. Each of the court cards within the Efflorescent Tarot are also associated with the energies of a specific plant, which are listed in the brackets. So that's, again, something I didn't know and I think is really cool. So we've got the wands and the rest of the suits here, and then you have, again, information about the major arcana, and it's fairly, where'd it go? Yeah, it's fairly simple. And then in the back, this might be one of my favorite things. In the back, there is an index of the flowers represented in the deck. And I just thought that was really cool. And then you have about the creators and the Efflorescent Tarot. I would have liked more information about these ladies. So creative, and I would like to learn more about their process. Just because I find it inspiring. And I've gone on their website, and there really isn't a lot of information about them about either one of them on their websites. Anyway, there's also some acknowledgments and website information for the creators in the back. The first noticeable difference is the size, and that's because I made the horrible decision to modify my first deck. I did a terrible job. I didn't take my time, and I used a dull paper cutter blade, which was just a bad idea. Anyway, before that, the deck was exactly the same size as the 2024 edition, which is 3.5 by 5. The cardstock for the first edition is very matte, and it's also a lot, the cardstock is thinner. It doesn't have the same bounce that I noticed that this one has. The 2024 edition, it has 350 GSM. It's a high gloss UV varnish, and the cardstock feels pretty amazing. Like, it bounces right back into shape. So I don't know if this is because of the core or if it's because of the varnish, but I'm really curious to see how it shuffles because it is very stiff. Starting with the card backs, the design looks pretty much the same. The backs of the original deck have a black and white ink design, and as you can see, I cut off part of the design during my horrible deck modification. The backs of the 2024 edition have the same design, only they have this really pretty soft blue background with gold foil accents. And the new edition also has gold edging. The first edition did not have gold edging prior to the modification. And before I decided to cut them off, I think the borders were about the same width. The images look to be exactly the same size. The font is the same as well. Like the original, the major arcana isn't numbered, which is actually my preference because, as I mentioned before, it just solves the whole strength justice at 8 or 11 issue. Okay, so let's take a look. What I noticed just with the first 3 cards, because that's really as far as I looked, it just seems like the yellows and the reds in some of the cards seem a lot brighter. Like his tights in the first edition look more red, whereas in the new edition they look more maroon, and the sun looks a little bit more muted. At least that's how it looks to me. I feel like the details are more defined in the first edition, at least in this card. So we'll see if this is the case across the board. Yeah, I see more yellows. These flowers seem brighter, but that's just me, maybe. This looks pretty much the same. I really love this High Priestess card, and I love the pomegranates. I like how you can see these viney pomegranates in the back, and then you see them over to the left. So pretty. See, the sun and the dress seem brighter in this one. Same here. I just love this deck. And just for the record, I think both editions are beautiful. See, again, this looks brighter to me. Same with the hangman and his green pants. It's just you can see more of the highlights. And I think you can see the snake better in the original edition. I love this temperance card. This is one of my favorite devil cards. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, it just looks darker in the background. I feel like with the 2024 moon, it does seem like the background pops a little bit more. Yeah, see, I don't see much of a difference in the color. I do here. This has like I think these are clouds. It looks like a little bit, they look a little bit more, they look pink. But I like it. I think it's pretty. And I really like the sort of more mustardy background of the Ace of Wands. So this blue actually looks a little bit brighter to me. Okay, so here's one of my favorite things. This pink or reddish sky, I love it. So beautiful. Her clouds, I am so infatuated with her clouds. See, again, this one, the background looks a lot more yellow, or a brighter yellow. And the red pops more. The pink background, it looks lighter in this deck. And I love pink. I love pink skies. I think I love this. It must be tricky trying to get the colors exactly the same when you do a reprint. Look at that lavender sky. I think she is the cutest Queen of Wands. Pretty red sky. I love their little cheeks. Okay, so I'm noticing with the Eight of Cups, the cloak is a lot brighter. The cups are more yellow here, and the Nine of Cups as well. And his, I don't know what you call that, a cloak, seems a little bit brighter. But mostly they just look the same. I love this Ace of Swords. What do you like best? Do you like borderless decks or decks with a border? Or does it depend on the deck? I think for me, it depends on the deck. I do like borderless decks, obviously, but I think it also depends. Look at that beautiful turquoise sky. The the Ace of Pentacles of the first edition looks a little bit more gold, and the flowers look more red. I love this Two of Coins. This deck is one of my favorite decks for autumn because of the colors. I mean, look at that. Yeah, see, brighter hat and her scarf, and the background is brighter. So that's pretty much the only difference that I see, is that there's a slight saturation difference. So my final thoughts on the 2024 Efflorescent Tarot. I think overall it has been improved. The cardstock is much better quality. The box is sturdier and prettier. And the new edition does come with a book. It's small, but I appreciate the information regarding the plant symbolism. I do love that part. I am still partial to my first deck, which is purely sentimental. I may feel differently once I start working with the new edition. I think that covers it for the Efflorescent Tarot. So what do you think? Do you have this deck? Have you been chasing this deck like so many others? Do you like the changes? Do you prefer the matte finish to the glossy finish? And do you like the gold embellishment and the edging? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And again, thanks so much for joining me today. I will do my best to post videos on a more regular basis in the future. It's actually one of my New Year resolutions, and I hardly make those. So until next time, take care of you. Bye.